So good evening, everyone. No matter where you join us from, I hope you enjoy the presentation today. And if you didn't join us live and then watch the recording, then please feel free to send me any questions anytime. In the end of the presentation, I will read my email address for you. And also if you watch it on YouTube, then you can also reach me via the YouTube message, or you can leave a message under this film. Okay, so in case you don't know me yet, my name's July. I'm from Taiwan, but at this moment I live in Norway, and I have my Ayurvedic clinic here in Trondheim in the central Norway. And I'm an Ayurvedic doctor in training. I'm trained by Kerala Ayurveda Academy in USA and also in India. This year, as you might read in the introduction of the workshop, last November, and also this March, I spent 2 months in India and then to work together with different of my professors in their clinic to take care of their clients and patients. And there was one day I spent together with an Ayurvedic psychologist. She has the master degree on Ayurvedic psychologist, and it is very interesting to see how she helped others, how she helped her clients. But at the same time, when I was working with some other Ayurvedic specialists and Ayurvedic doctors, I realized that sometimes we say that mental health is mental care and mind care is actually life care. Although from psychologist side or from the professional mental health part or from yoga or from meditation, we could receive a lot of help. But I also believe that by taking care of our digestion, metabolism, and absorption, we will be able to work together and have a complete and wholesome program to help us to enhance the healing process and also to stabilize the maintaining process. Okay, so this workshop today is called Healthy Gut, Peaceful Mind. I would like to introduce you how Ayurveda sees what I just mentioned, how you take care of your gut, at the same time you're able to take care of your mind. And this is also my clinical research program. So at this moment, when my research program is collecting people who like to be the sample, I will introduce the program a little bit in the end. If you watch the YouTube recording, because I need to do my research before end of 2023. So if you watch it later than that, I might not be able to include you in my research program, but you please feel free to contact me, and then I'll see how I could help you with Ayurveda. Okay, great. Let's start. If you join us live at this moment, feel free to post any questions. I also have someone here. So if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know so I could answer you anytime. If it is some question that we'll include in my later slides, then I will not answer until we are there. Okay, good. So roughly introduce about Ayurveda in case you don't know them yet. Okay, we say that Ayurveda, literally to translate, is A-Y-U-R, that's mean life. And Veda means the knowledge. So make it simple, we say it's art of life or science of life. And that is basically telling us who you are or who we are. And then tell us how we are able to find out what's our nature. To knowing our nature will be able to help us to know what is our potential, and also what is our potential to get out of balance, so that we are able to shine, make ourselves shine, and also at the same time to prevent ourselves from getting out of balance or having some mentally or physically disease or discomforts. Okay, and then we say Ayurveda have 2 goals. What are these 2 goals? One thing is to help you to bring you back from the out of balance status, no matter it's mentally, physically, or even spiritually. Although we believe your spirit will never go out of balance, but there are so many things from our past that can bother our spirit from being stable or pleasant. So Ayurveda have some solution for that. And then at the same time, after you come back to normal, or after you come back to your nature, established in your nature, Ayurveda will help you to maintain the status. Okay, in different season, in different environment, Ayurveda also teach you how you are going to maintain your nature, and then so that your nature could help you to enjoy your life, to fulfill your mission in this life. So we say that Ayurveda is very old, like thousands years old, and then everything, all the knowledge are written down in the books. And then, so every time at this moment, if we have any confusion, or if we need to do any debate, we will always based on the classical books, the content of the classical books to discuss from there. So all the content I provide today is based on the classical books and also some recent research from Ayurvedic doctors in India, Sri Lanka, and also around the world. Okay, so as I mentioned that Ayurveda is the art of living, and then it's a science. It's based in Veda, the great knowledge system from India, and we have 8 branches. Okay, not to think about it as medicine, but basically a branch to categorize things so that it's easier to understand the system. Which 8 branches are them? We say that the first one is a Kaya Chikitsa. Kaya Chikitsa is something about your body. Let's say it's like a general medicine. It talks about your physical body and also the connection between your physical body and your mind. And then we also have another one, which is called the Bala Chikitsa. Bala Chikitsa talk about the health for the kids, the health for the children, and also the pregnancy care, postnatal care for a mother. And then the third one is very close to our topic today, the Graha Chikitsa. Graha Chikitsa means, the Graha Chikitsa has many different angles, but let's make it simple. It's mainly about how we are able to take care of the mental imbalances and also those things that may disturb our spirit. Okay, that is Graha Chikitsa. And then we also have the Shalya Tantra. Shalya Tantra is like the surgical part. Okay, the surgical part that take care of your, like what we know nowadays as surgery. Okay, and then we also have another part that is like the ENT, which is the everything above your neck, include your eyes, your nose, your ear, your throat, this area. That's another branch as well. And then we also have the Aganda Tantra, Agada Tantra, sorry, as like what we call the poison. If you get poisoned by the snake bite, or by like nowadays we have virus or bacteria, or by different chemical, heavy metal, what you could do, it's also written down in our classical books thousands, hundreds years ago. Okay, and then the other thing, as you can see that I remark it in red, it's called Rasayana. Rasayana in Ayurveda is many people translate it into English as the rejuvenation, but it is not just rejuvenation. When we talk about rejuvenation, we'll think about, okay, keep giving you nutrition and then make you nourish you and then to fulfill you and things like that. But Rasayana is not just like that. It's not just about that. I will talk about more later in our presentation today. And then the last one is the Vajikarana. Vajikarana is closer to the rejuvenation. Okay, it's like we give you enough nutrition so that your lost energy can be fulfilled, so that a man can always be very energetic and women could always be full of vitality. So that is Vajikarana. And then after knowing the Ayurveda, we say it is very important to know how Ayurveda define health. As you can see that on this slide, it might full of sentence that you couldn't read or you don't understand. That's totally fine, because that is Sanskrit, and then I'll read them and then just enjoy the melody and then I'll explain it quickly. Okay, so how Ayurveda sees health? We say sama doshaha, sama agnicha, sama dhatu marakriyaha. Sama means S-A-M-A, that means equalized. Okay, or we can call it balanced. Dosha means the functional energy. We have in this universe, like what the scientists, they already find out, there are 3 different functional energy. One take care of the movement, and then the other one take care of the transformation, and then the third one take care of the cohesion. These 3, we call them Vata, Pitta, Kapha. You will see them in the later slide. I will talk more later because that's also related to your mind. And then Sama Agnicha, that means the Agni has to function normally. Okay, Agni in Ayurveda, we consider them as a fire. This fire take care of your gross and subtle digestion, metabolism, absorption, and elimination. Okay, so if this part of you doesn't function well, then we know we couldn't call you a healthy person. A third part is Samadhatu. Dhatu means your tissues. We have 7 different tissues. We also have the sub-tissue from it, and from them, we'll also talk about them because they will be also related to your mental health. Okay, and then the last part physically is called Mala Kriya. That means Mala, your waste. We have 3 main waste. They have to be clear out. Doesn't mean we need to zero them down. That means we need to have proper amount of them so that they are doing their function. Okay, they don't cause issue. When you have too many of them or too less of them, or both will cause issue. What are these 3 malas? We say the 3 main waste are the stool. Okay, every morning when you go to the toilet, you'll see the number 1 and number 2, stool and urine, and also your sweat. So to 100% clear up, even forcefully to reduce them or forcefully to remove your waste is not healthy for you in Ayurveda. Also not healthy in Ayurveda for your mind. Okay, so here we say your functional energy and then your digestion fire and your tissue and your waste have to function. This is just 50% of the health in Ayurveda. Okay, so apart from your physical health, acharyas means the teachers. In our tradition, they also say, prasana atma indriya manaha, swastha iti abhidyate. Yeah, so prasana means pleasant, peacefully. Peacefully what? Your spirit or consciousness, that is atma. Your sense organ and action organ, that is your indriya. The sense organ and action organ, we say it's like the bridge between you and the external world. So inside you are thinking about something, but if your body, if your hands, your feet, your vocal cord doesn't say anything, then external world wouldn't have the connection with you. If your eyes couldn't see, if your ear couldn't hear, then the external world wouldn't bother you. So in Ayurveda, we say your sense organ, your action organ actually played a very important role regarding your mental health. Okay, and then the last one is manaha. Manas is your mind. So if we consider our soul or our consciousness stays inside this body, then the mind is the very free thing that flows without any limitation of the time and also the space. Okay, so take care of your mind. That's the reason why we say mind care is life care. Okay, swastha means healthy. Okay, so for someone, these 2 sentences means for someone who has properly functional physical body and peaceful soul, peaceful sense organ, and peaceful mind, then we can call you a healthy person. So once we use Ayurveda or different method in life to make all these 3 parts, your body, your mind, your spirit, back to the nature, then Ayurveda also help you how to establish in your nature. Okay, if any question, just bring that. Okay, and then now I would like to lead you to chant 2 shlokas, the next 2, because our topic today is about mental health. It's about peaceful mind. And then in one of our classical book, Ashtanga Hridaya, it says in the first 2 sentences, when you open the book, the first 2 sentences already tell you what caused the pain. In Ayurveda, we believe anything that causes the pain is disease. Okay, no matter the pain is physically, mentally, time-wise, or financially. Okay. What caused the pain? We call it disease, or we see it as imbalances, or the resource of the imbalance. And then in these 2 sentences, the teachers told us what caused the pain. It is your mind. So allow me to chant it for you. Ragadirogan Satadanushakta Ashishakaya Prasadanashishan Autsukya Moharadidanjakana Hvorfor Vaidya Namostu tasmai Shri Gurupyo Namaha Havik Namastu. Okay, smooth our breath. Feel the vibration around us or inside us, and then slowly come back to me. So in the first two sentences of our classical book, our acharya, our teachers already mentioned, what caused the pain? Our mind caused the pain. Why our mind caused the pain? Because our mind has the desire. Desire for what? Desire for two things. One thing is we don't have, but we would like to have. The need is so strong, the desire is so strong, so cause different kind of discomforts. Okay. The second desire is what do you have, but you don't want to have. Okay, you want to get rid of it, but you couldn't. The need is so strong, make us to do different things that later lead into physical or mental discomforts and even become disease or imbalances. So take care of your mind, understand what you need might be something you don't want later. What you don't want now might be something you wanted a lot earlier. So every moment when the trigger comes, slow down. Stay inside you. Ask yourself, what's going on? What is the real thing that triggers me? Okay, good. So while talking about the mental health, I would like to talk about introduce a little bit more about the mind. So how does Ayurveda sees the mind? We say there are different situations that our mind or so-called both physical and mental disease could happen or imbalances can happen. The one thing is that we are not smart enough, not smart enough, but sometimes we might not have the knowledge or the wisdom, or we've never heard about those things. That's one way. And then another thing is we use our sense organ not so properly. For example, when you are reading on your mobile, you stay in a very dark room. Okay. If you don't have the knowledge and knowing that and don't know that actually seeing in the dark is bad for your eyes, then you are destroying your eyes without knowing. Okay. Second thing is you might know that, but you still do it. Okay. And then the third thing is you just do it anyway, whatever, no matter you know it or not. Okay. So we say that not having the knowledge or not having the wisdom is one way that we make ourselves sick. Another thing is that we don't use our sense organ properly, so we overuse them, not use them, or use them improperly. That could also cause different pain. And then the third part is something from the nature, something from birth that we could not change. We could only maintain it, not to make it worse. Okay, so that are the three factors that cause the imbalances, and that can reflect into the mental imbalances a lot, especially the first one. Okay, so here we say what happened between our internal world and the external world. In Ayurveda and also in yoga, we believe that everything in this material world is made by energy. We give this energy a name, we call it prana. And this prana flowing around us and also flowing inside us, okay, have different circulation. So anything happen outside you is energy, or create more energy, generate more energy, or itself is an energy. And then your sense organ, as you can see from my mouse here, your sense organ receive this energy and then bring this energy into your mind. In the mind, there are 4 departments. Okay, I like to describe them as an office. So in your mind, there are 4 departments. Manas is like the reception. So reception receive the message from outside, received by your sense organ, no matter eyes, ear, skin, or nose, or your taste, or your tongue. And then these receptionists, usually they couldn't make decisions, so they need to go further to the managers. So you have two managers inside you. One is called Buddhi. Buddhi has three different functions. One is the knowledge comes from experience or reading books or listening to something. And then the other one is willpower. Okay. The third part is recalling the memory. So if at that moment when your mind received the message or received the information from outside world, your mind is so busy in general, in the back office, they are so busy. So this person, this good manager or this wise manager or the manager with more experience is supposed to have the knowledge. Is supposed to have the willpower to make proper decision. It's supposed to recall the memory of the past experience. Doesn't function. Then mainly it will be another manager. We call him or we call her ahamkara. Ahamkara is how you recognize yourself as a person. It's not egoism. In some books, they translate it into egoism, but it's not fair for ahamkara. Ahamkara tells you who you are. Ahamkara shows who you are. You are a human being, you are a man, you are a woman, or you are just no gender, or also tell you how old you are, what you are. So when you're ahamkara, it's not in the sattvic situation. I'll explain those more in the later slide. Sattvic means, or sattva means a pure thing, something with the pure quality, with the balanced quality. Okay. When your self-identification doesn't stay in the pure and balanced situation, but in a shaky situation. In what shaky situation? Rajasic. Okay. Or in a dull situation, in a passive situation, tamasic. Then you might do some decision with this impression. You might do some decision not so carefully or not out of the best of you, or you might not do the best decision. Okay. And then sometimes when our wisdom, Buddhi, we can consider it as a self-wisdom, personal wisdom. Ahamkara is a self-identification. When we couldn't make decision, then we will go to our memory. Chitta is like your memory database for your memory. Okay. While we check into the database, we know, okay, we had such experience before, then I don't like that experience, so maybe we do something else, or I like that experience, so I follow it. And then after the back office made the decision, they will again let the manas, let the reception, tell the sense organ, tell the action organ what to do. So your arms, your hands, your legs, and also your vocal cord, and also your anus, and also your breathing channel, and also your genital organ, they know what to do, how to react. And what you do here will do something is like throwing a stone into the water, into the external world. And then that will influence people else, someone else in this external world. We don't know who will be influenced. So this is the connection between external world and your inner world. And everything is about energy. So we say that when such strong energy comes inside us, what will happen is when the energy is too strong inside, sorry, let me go back. When everything and when what you receive is too strong, so strong that your body or your mind think you couldn't handle, then your mind will shut down. Okay. When your mind shut down doesn't mean this energy doesn't go through you. When your mind shut down, this energy will go through you or even stay in you. Okay. And such strong energy could be like an accident in life, could be in a surgery in life, could be some interaction with other people in life. Okay. And then later in your daily life, when you are feel more chill, or when your wisdom and your your self-identification think, hey, now I'm strong enough to deal with that. Then this energy, those locked energy will slowly being released. Or when your body start to be more relaxed, then those energy will be released. What we have to do when those energy are released is not to hold them in, because your body already hold them for a long time. What we do is we prepare ourselves and learn to let it go. Okay. In Ayurveda, we believe that everything comes in is like prana. Everything goes out is also prana. Between in prana and out prana, what help it to hold is your ojas. We'll also talk about ojas later. So while you have more of your so-called mental and physical immunity, or so-called the bigger band, the bigger space to carry those prana, then they know where to go. They wouldn't get stuck so easily. Okay, so how are we able to expand this space? How are we able to enhance our ojas? This is what we are going to talk about today. Okay. Again, there might be a lot of Sanskrit name on the slides that make you confused, a lot of question mark on you. It's fine. I will try to explain that. Okay, so as I mentioned, our mind, or so-called self-identification, the ahamkara, has three different status. One is sattva, that is when you are pure, when you are in the balanced status. Usually you might touch that slightly during your yoga practice, during your qigong practice, or when you spend time with yourself in the nature. Okay, that's the moment you feel really chill, and then you feel really, yes, I am myself, I'm so peaceful. But our mind very often will also go to the rounding situation, racing situation, we call it rajasic, or into the too chill situation, or so-called the lazy situation. We need all of them. Okay, we call it tamasic. So that we say, when our mind is often stay in the rajasic situation, in the active situation, you could feel the excessive fear or moving habit, like moving a lot, or you might lack of self-control. The self-control include your mind, your physical movement, your talk, and also your thinking. Okay, and also your emotion. Or you might have start to build up lying nature, or so-called too much pride, or excessive attachment, or angers. Yeah, so that is when the mind is staying in the moving situation too much. How are we going to balance it? We bring it back to the sattvic situation, the pure situation. Will your food influence you? Yes, and we'll talk about that. And then we say the mind could also goes from the super active to pure situation, and then fell into the too chill situation. When we stay in the too chill situation, we might start to become more depressed. Not depression. I need to explain that and also highlight that everything we talk about in this workshop, let's not to give any disease name on it. Okay, we are only discuss different imbalances, signs of imbalances from Ayurvedic side. Okay, so when your mind stay in the tamasic situation too much, you might feel too chill. In the first beginning, it's very comfortable because you're able to relax, you're able to sleep, you're able to stay. But when we stay there for too long, you could start to feel a little bit depressed, and then lack of faith or lack of self-belief, or even lack of good principle in daily life, and also start to feel because I'm so chill, so no matter what you tell me, I don't want to hear, because that might against my feeling, my happiness, my chillness now. So ignorance could come, and also the sleepiness could come. Okay, so what we do is that enjoy in between these two sides, but not jumping all the time, nor staying either of them all the time. We help our mind enjoying in the active world, so we can think, so we can make decisions, so we could have action and doing good decision for the whole world, and also for ourselves, for our family. At the same time, we could stay in the passive situation, so we can rest, we can relax, we can recharge. And then more we would like to stay is in the sattvic situation, while we are very neutral, while we can see things from a bigger picture, while we are able to make really a good decision from our wisdom. Okay, so here I would like to also showing you how in Ayurveda we classify we classify the mental disease or mental imbalances. We say that there are some mental imbalances caused purely from the mind, because your mind is too rajasic or too tamasic, too active or too chill back, too lay back. So usually we see them more in an emotional way, like the anger, the fear, the worriness, and also the grief. Okay, there might be some typing mistake. I'm sorry for that. Okay, and so that's one type of the imbalances mentally. And then there might be another imbalances that is mainly from your body. Okay, from the body because of improper lifestyle, improper diet. Like when I was in India, I see many clients that they have, well, their Western doctor tell them they have anemia. And then in Ayurvedic tradition, we see them more as Pandu. That's one of the imbalances. And then in our classical book of Pandu, we say that if it's the Vata type Pandu, you might have heaviness in your chest when you're breathing. You might feel hollowness in your heart. You might feel dizzy. You might feel fear. You might feel worry. You might feel insecurity and even anxious. Is it because the mind have some issue? No, it's mainly because not proper lifestyle, because of different kind of mindset and desires. So you have not proper lifestyle or not proper food. So by correcting the lifestyle, correcting the food, taking care of the Pandu, those signs that I just mentioned will be released, will be relieved. Okay, so we also have some imbalances that is purely from the body. And also we say sometimes the body out of balance for long, that can also cause mental imbalances. For example, if you break your leg, you like to, for example, you like to do cycling, you like to jog, but you break your leg and then you couldn't do those things for, let's say, 1 month. How sad you will be after staying not able, after not allowing doing things you like. You will be not so happy. You will start to have a lot of regret and say, oh, how can I do that? How can that accident happen? But it happened. So physical imbalances could also end up with the mental disease. Okay, so that's the reason why in Ayurveda we say that there are some mental imbalances purely from the mind, some are purely from the body, and some are both influence each side. And also there are some that is caused by the there are some physical imbalances caused by the mind as well. For example, if for someone who stay in the fear for too long, this person could start to have the physical issue, we call the Vata could go out of balance, and then that will start to influence your digestion system and then influence your elimination system. Then all different kind of disease or imbalances will develop from there. It is closer to what the psychologists would call the somatic imbalance disorder, right? Yeah. So in Ayurveda, we also see that. The last one is from the behavior. And this behavior disorder or behavior imbalances could come from some not proper treatment treated in the early childhood, or by seeing something very scary and then start to, instead of not to do that, you start to imitating that. So in Ayurveda, classically, we categorize the mental imbalances into these 5 different assortment. Okay, any question? No.
Yeah, many questions, but later.
Yes, later we can bring down. So as I mentioned that in that 5 categories, we have one that is called the body and mind influence each other. And another one is based in the body. So how your body influence your mind? In Ayurveda, we say that there are 3 different functional energy. Scientists also told you there are 3. Somehow we call them in a different name compared to the Western world. We say that the one take care of the movement is called Vata energy. And this Vata energy take care of all the movement inside you, include your thinking, include what I say, the external world, information goes into you, and then your brain receive it, and also your circulation, your emotional change, your physical movement with your hands and leg, and even talking. Okay. And then when this energy gets too strong, okay, this functional energy will go out of balance with, they are very sensitive. So they are very easy to go out of balance with the food, with lifestyle, even with the external environment. Sometimes you take good care of yourself, but because of the season, or because of the moon, or because of the weather, then your body will get influenced. Okay, so this Vata energy, when it gets too strong, too high, mentally you will start to have this unstableness, movement, over movement, and dryness and coldness, because those are the quality of this Vata energy. So fear, insecurity, worry, grief, and unstable, those quality will show. Usually when this is getting so high mentally, physically, you will also see those signs as well. Like you couldn't sit, you want to move, but you don't know the reason why you are moving, or you feel very thirsty or more cold, or you notice your breathing become faster. Okay, another functional energy is called Pitta. Pitta is actually taking care of the transformation. So it transforms material into energy, or transform energy into the other energy. Okay, so if we see it in our body, it's like the food you eat become the nutrition you need. And also the nutrition you have become different hormone you need. Or the impression you receive or words you hear become your wisdom or become your knowledge. Okay, and this energy has the quality of the heat. Very warm, very sharp, can even be sour. You know, we sometimes also describe someone as you're so sour today. Okay. When I say you're so sour today, you know what I mean. And that is when the Pitta is go out of balance. Okay. So mentally or emotionally, you will see more anger, the heat, and also jealous, the sourness, and also even go more sharp, you will see the hatred and controlling, over controlling something. And physically, you will also see those qualities, like you start to become more hot, or you start to become more irritating, physically irritating, so you couldn't really, you want to move or do something. This kind of force of doing something will be there. Okay, and also you might also feel more sourness or acidity inside you, or you start to go, you see a lot of sharpness, like sharp pain, sharp heat, and then some thinking can be very sharp as well, sharp in a bad way, like you go too extreme inside. Yeah, so that is the Pitta energy. And then the last functional energy we have in life is called Kapha energy. That is the energy taking care of the cohesion, put things together, and also to increase the size or to increase the amount so that we are able to grow. So that from just one fetus, we are able to become a human being, and we are able to grow from a baby to adults. That is the Kapha energy. So we all have these three energy, functional energy inside us. And then with different reasons I just mentioned earlier, they will increase. And then when they increase, we will see their quality become stronger physically and mentally. For this Kapha energy, it is oily or wet, and also cold and sticky. So what happened is that when this energy gets too strong, mentally, you will feel, oh, I'm so lazy. I want to stay in bed a bit longer. I prefer to stay on sofa today. I don't want to move. Okay. But that's just the first step. If it starts to build up, you'll start to feel more sorrow. And also in another way, you might feel more stubborn. Okay, because this energy represents the element of water and earth. Think about the big rock, hard to push. Okay, and physically, you will also notice that you become more wet or more cold. Wetness could show on your waist, in your urine or in your stool, or even in your mouth with the saliva. You can notice those things. So by observing yourself, noticing what happened, you might be able to prevent them to go further and then cause the mental or physical imbalances. So that is also what Ayurveda told us. And then these are the energy that might be influenced by external world because of the season, because of the weather. They might also be influenced by how you hold your life, how you live your life, and also how you take care of your body. Okay, what do you eat? What do you do in life? So here for today's workshop, I want to emphasize the connection between the food and your body and your mind. As I mentioned in the second slide about the health, our teachers say that your digestion fire has to function normally. In total, we have 13 digestion fire physically, and then one mentally, another one more for spiritual wise. So I don't want to name them because that's too complicated for today, but I'll explain how they function. The food you take after the first digestion, so the first arrow is the first digestion, the food you take include the drinks. Okay, liquid food is still food, include the water. So your body will digest them and then into something called ahara rasa, that is we just think that as a liquid nutrition that will flowing all around you. And then this liquid nutrition flowing all around you, they will go to the area somehow close to your small intestine and liver area, and then they will be cooked again by 5 different fires, and then different elements will be created here. If here this transformation is not properly, then you might have some emotional imbalances shows, like anger, like worry, and so. Okay, and then that's the reason why you maybe heard from some of the Chinese medicine or the naturopath, they will tell you that, oh, if you're too emotional, that means your liver has some issue. But in Ayurveda, we don't just stop there. We explain more. We say after this nutrition liquid flowing into passing your small intestine and then going further, spreading to all your body, there will be different tissues. You have 7 different tissues. Let me go to the next stage and then come back. You have 7 different tissues. The first one is rasa, a little bit like how Western doctor called plasma. Okay, let's just think it's one tissue that provide nutrition to all the rest of the tissues. Okay, and then the second tissue is, we can consider it as blood cells, and then you have muscles, and then the fat tissue, good fat tissue, and also the bone tissue, and also the nerve tissue. The nerve tissue here include the bone marrow and also your brain, your central nerve system, and then also your reproductive tissues. Okay, they all have different function. So we know that when these tissues have proper function, that means the tissue digestion fire working properly. Okay, if one of the tissue is not function properly, means they might have excessive amount but low quality or too low quality quantity, then your mind will be influenced as well. And then after this liquid nutrition being cooked by all these fires, all these digestive fires, they will become different waste and also different sub-tissues, and also become the last very essential things in Ayurveda. We consider it as the immunity for your mind and for your body. We call it ojas. Okay, I'll explain ojas later. So when this ojas, why we need these ojas? Because these ojas will take care of you, and also that is the base what you expand during your daily life, when you talk, when you do something, even when you dreams. Okay, I'll explain it in the later slide. After the physical body receive all these things, receive the nutrition, cook them, and then have different products, then it will go to the atom level and also the molecular level. And those level is more close to your mind. Okay. And then it will go to the consciousness level that is closer to your spirit. So each arrow is at least one digestion fire. So as you can see that in total, 5 times of cooking, 15 different kind of fire. If any of them doesn't function well, that will mean that some material wouldn't be transformed properly. When they are not able to be transformed properly, they will become bad thing stuck inside you. Include the bad thing in your mind. That means you heard me hear something, you hear me saying something, but that's too hard for you to process. And then that's stuck in you. And then this blockage will make you not to feel hungry. That's the reason why sometimes we say, do you really not hungry? Or you just think too much or too many emotions inside you. Okay. So having the fire properly function, having all the spaces properly function will help you. Here you hear me saying spaces. We call it shotas. In Ayurveda, we have for men, we have 14 different spaces. And then for women, we have 16 different spaces. These spaces carry things I just mentioned. We have 3 spaces, carry everything come in. The liquid thing, the solid food thing, and also the air. And also we have 3 spaces carry going out thing. The one carry your stool, the one carry your urine, and the one carry your sweat. And also the space carry the 7 different tissues I just mentioned. We'll go through them later again. And also the mind. The mind is also considered something which is in between gross and subtle. And then our body have a space to carry that. We say it's everywhere in you. All of your cells knows what to do. All of your cells have the wisdom. So it has the mind. And then we found out that it is more concentrated in 2 areas. One is your heart, one is your brain. Okay, because earlier when I described the 4 different departments, you also notice that, yeah, sometimes I receive the feeling or the external world, I communicate with the external world, not with my brain, but with my heart. And sometimes I communicate more through my brain. So we found it is these 2 areas have most concentrated mind. And also for women, we have 2 extra spaces. One is carry the mother milk, another one carry our endometrials. Okay. So we say that earlier we mentioned when the functional energy doesn't function so well, then mentally you will start to feel something. And then if your tissue doesn't have proper amount or couldn't proper function, you will also have some imbalances, especially those parts I highlight in red. The rasa dhatu, your plasma, I don't like to call it your plasma, but something like your plasma, allow me to say Sanskrit. Okay. When your rasa dhatu, this tissue is not enough. Remember, it is something to provide nutrition to other tissue in you. So think about all your tissues are not being properly nourished. What will you feel? This rasa dhatu mainly stay in your heart. So you will feel, first of all, very dry, restless, and also very sensitive to the sound, to the external world, very irritating, and also emptiness here, because the root of your rasa tissue, rasa dhatu, is in your heart. Okay, that maybe recall some of the mental imbalances nowadays, psychologists category. Okay, and then when your blood is not enough, physically or mentally, you could feel dullness, like, oh, I couldn't think, I'm so tired, I'm so fatigued. Or you could also feel easily being shocked, feel shocked, okay, because your blood carries the vitality of you. So when you're not having enough vitality, or we can call it carry the prana, when you're not having so much of this vitality, then you are not so stable as well. And then we say your mamsa dhatu, your muscle, when your muscle is well formed, you actually feel very confident, feel secure. Okay, like, okay, I'm the most strong person, I can do whatever I want. But when your muscle is wasting, when your muscle is not enough, mentally you'll start to feel like, I'm not so sure if it's correct. I don't know if I'm allowed to say out of my words. Okay, so that is your muscle tissue. That's the reason why when people start to build muscle, they feel happy. And also when they go to the gym, they start to feel like, yes, I know I can. Okay. And then we say the next tissue is your fat tissue, the medo dhatu. Medo dhatu is actually the bring the liquid part, make things for protection. So if you have too less fat tissue, you could start to feel not so happy, not so interested in life, not so passionate. Okay, so cold, you're so dry. And then the next tissue is your bone tissue. We call it asti dhatu. Asti dhatu take care of the stability. See, just think about what your bones do. It's also provide protection for your organs. So when your bone tissue is not enough, then you usually will feel very tired. Okay. And also the Majadhatu is the nerve tissue. Not to talk about if you don't have enough nerve tissue or brain tissue, then you start to have a lot of what psychologists will consider as mental disease. Like memory might have some issue, and then you have a lot of vata imbalances, as what we say in the previous slides, with the vata energy too strong, like the fear, the worry, the anxious, the insecurity. Those will happen. And then the last one is your reproductive tissue. Reproductive tissue, if you don't have enough of them, you'll feel very weak. And also lacking the feeling of being loved. That is a very important thing. Many people have this issue nowadays. Doesn't mean that many people have the sexual issue or having the like menstrual issue, but sometimes we might have them, but they might not be under good quality. Okay, so never forget that after our body produce all those tissues from the food, they are all formed by the food you eat. They couldn't be formed by your yoga practice or your meditation. The only resource of them is your food, plus your proper digestion function. Okay.
All these categories?
Yes.
Is formed by the food?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes, that's the reason why Ayurveda targets on food so much. So we say after your food being digested and then produce so many different things, the last thing that will come up is your ojas. We say, what is ojas? Ojas is the liquid thing that we couldn't see. But in the classical book, they describe it as something with the color of ghee. Ghee is, many people like to say it's like the clarified butter. So it's like those kind of golden milky color. And then tastes like honey. Okay, and smells like the puff rice. The puff rice laja that you could see in, I think in Norway, you have puffed wheat. I saw that in the shop before. Or the riskake. Riskake, those kind.
Right.
Okay, so smells like that. And then it has the quality of liquid and also soft and also sticky. Okay, when we say ojas has the proper amount written down in the classical book, part of it is in your physical body. Take care of your daily movement. So that's why I say that talking, doing something, even just sit, even lying down, you're actually using your ojas. And then few of them stay in your heart. I say heart is the root of your mind. It's a place where your mind stays. So these two actually support each other. When your physical ojas is not enough, you'll feel very tired, so you should eat food. But if you don't eat, then something from your heart has to come out to support. Otherwise, you couldn't keep your physical function like the body temperature or so, then you might die. Okay, and then so that sometimes when we don't eat food for too long, like for some young ladies who like to do the diet, or it's very strict diet, or when you go traveling or go hiking, couldn't have proper food for a long time, mentally you will start to feel unstable. Unstable in a way like not so good tolerant toward the light or the sound or so, or become more emotional, or couldn't have good sleep. Okay, so that is the ojas reflect on the physical side. Reflect on the mental side, it actually is your mental immunity, your mental strength. What will happen when you have good mental strength? You have no stress. It's so interesting. People nowadays like to find different ways to do the de-stress, yoga, meditation, massage, and I always tell them, eat properly. Okay, because doing those things is to help you to reduce the stress, to help you to reduce the expense of your ojas, but they wouldn't bring you ojas. But if you eat properly, you will grow ojas. Okay, and then while doing those things, that could help you not to waste them so fast. That will help your mind to stay more stable. I mean, those practice qigong, yoga, meditation, breathing exercise, or massage, they could help your mind to stay relaxed. So mentally, you don't use the ojas so much, but they don't recharge you. Okay. They bring you something else like prana and the mental fire, but they couldn't recharge you on that side. Okay.
So ojas is more than vitality?
Yes. Ojas is more than vitality. That's the reason why we call the Ojas as the mental and also physical immunity. Nowadays, especially after the COVID pandemic, people keep saying that we need to have good immunity, because good immunity could help you to fight with the external thing, include external trauma resource, include external stress resource. Yeah. When your mind is not stable, when your mind is not strong, then whatever happened outside will influence you inside mentally. Let's say like this. I usually do this example like, okay, now many people catch a cold. And then we went to me and Torre, today, we go to the same place. For example, kindergarten, many sick kids around. He didn't get sick, I get sick. Why? He has better immunity, I don't. Okay. If we go to a very loud, and then on the way back home, suddenly we saw a car accident happened. He is totally fine, just, oh my gosh, it's not nice for them. Hopefully they get cured and get helped. And then we drive through, he's fine. But I have nightmare. And then I start to become panic or start to wonder that, oh my gosh, if it happened to me or happened to my family, what could happen? It is because mentally my immunity is a bit weak. And this mental immunity is the Ojas. Yeah. Okay. So since we know the Ojas will take care of our health physically, mentally, then we also know that Ojas mainly comes from the food. Here, I also write down that what our teacher says about what will happen when the Ojas start to deplete. We have 3 different levels. In the first level, you mainly feel fatigue, and also you're physically, mentally couldn't really function. And then on the second level, you'll start to feel extreme tired and your sense organ couldn't function properly. You start to hear things that is not there, or see things is not there. And then you start to build up a lot of unnecessary fantasy. That's when the Ojas get depleting on the worst level. The worst level, you will die. Okay, so that is how important the Ojas is. And remember, Ojas comes from your food. But we are coming to the food part very soon. Okay, that's why I have a but there. Here we talk about so much about how your mind could be influenced by external world and how your mind could be influenced by your body. Luckily, your body can also support your mind. Okay, so in Ayurveda, we say for our health, everyone's health, no matter you want to balance something, to cure something, or you want to maintain something, we have 3 tools or 3 pillars. So while become health, we are like sitting a chair. And this chair has 3 legs. What are these 3 legs? One is ahara. It is everything you put inside you, include food, include things, impression, include or conception, and also your breath. So this is everything you put inside you. The second thing is your sleep, nidra, or so-called the rest. Can be a normal sleeping, can be a deep and real meditation. I say a real meditation because most of the time when people do meditation, they are thinking a lot inside. It's not real meditation. Or doing yoga nidra practice, or in Zen tradition, we have like a walking meditation as well. Okay. The third pillar is what you do in life. Okay, your daily activity, yoga practice, a massage that you take, or talking therapy that you receive. So these 3 pillars help you with, if one of them, by observing them, you know if you're healthy or not. For example, if you couldn't digest the food you eat, you know something goes wrong. If you couldn't breathe so well, you know something goes wrong. If your sense organ couldn't function so well, you also know that you need to check something. And then for the sleep, if you couldn't sleep, if you couldn't wake up, if you sleep very light, you know something goes wrong. The third part is, if your energy level usually could support you throughout the day, but somehow today, after lunch, you start to feel very tired. Or after your first bite of food, I need to go to sleep. Then you know something goes wrong. Or normally you're very stable throughout the day, but today you all in a sudden couldn't sit and then always forget what you need to do, then you also know something going wrong. So from either of them, you are able to tell, am I healthy or not? luckily, from either of them, you are able to help yourself to come back to health. For example, if I know I couldn't eat something, or I know I'm not healthy, I can take care of my food, or doing the fasting, or taking some supplement, and then come back to normal. Okay. I can also doing some breathing exercise to help me to come back to normal. I can also take care of my sense organ, not overly use them or trying to mainly focus on the pleasant things to use them, no matter food, sound, or visions. Then I could become more stable. I could become more healthy. And then from the sleep, if I adjust my sleeping, my emotion will be better the next day. If I adjust my sleeping, I have better energy the next day. Okay. And then the last thing is our daily activity. I know being too busy is the reason why I'm out of balance, physically, mentally. Then I rearrange my daily schedule. That will help you. I know walking too fast is my issue. Then I remind myself to stay with my breathing with every step I take. That will also help you. So these three pillars are something to help us to be aware of the imbalances, but also to help us to come back. And Ayurveda teaches us how to observe ourselves and also what are the tools we can use to take care. And today we want to talk about the connection between our food and also our mind. So come to the food. I would like to ask you, what do you think is more important? We always ask this question because it's very important. The thing is, here are three questions. Do you think when to eat is most important, or what to eat is most important, or how much to eat?
I remember your teacher for the answer.
Yes. Yes. Nowadays, many people focus on what to eat because that is how we are educated. We are what we eat. That's what the doctors told us. So that we always measuring every day how much protein I eat, how much fat I eat, and also how much vitamin D I eat, how much vitamin C I eat, and then what kind of food contain most vitamin C, so I should take them, or how much kind of food contain most iron, so I should take them more. But in Ayurveda, we don't agree with that. We don't agree with that 100%. What you eat is very important, but we don't think that is the key. Why? Because everything you eat, if you cannot digest them, if your body couldn't handle them, they will either stay in you or forcefully take out. That's the reason why sometimes after you eat something, you wonder that, I don't think I get virus, but how come I eat this thing I ate yesterday, the same thing, but I have to puke or have to go run to toilet for diarrhea? It's because your body couldn't handle that anymore. Is that because you get sick, or is the food? You're eating the food every day. So in Ayurveda, we say that it is not about the food. It is about if you're able to handle it or not. Remember in the earlier slides, I mentioned that we have 15 different fires. 13 of them take care of you physically. Another 2 goes more subtle-wise. If any of them, especially the first one, if it couldn't handle that food, then you will have issue with that thing. You will have reacting. Like I always tell people that we all drink the same milk. Why you have allergy reaction, but I don't. We all eat the same bread. You are not okay, but I'm fine. Is that because of the food is poisoned? No. It's because we have different digestion power. So instead of keep focusing on what you eat, check how you digest. And back to why it is so important to know when to eat. Because, as I mentioned, anything that causes pain is disease. Okay, so we say, if you're hungry, then you're sick. And what is the best medicine? The food. Okay, so we say that your body knows when to eat. That is the moment when you're hungry. But at the same time, we also believe that have a regulation in life will help your body to digest the food properly. Because The whole nature, the whole universe is following certain rhythm, same as our body. We will feel hungry after a certain hour we consume food. So if you don't feel hungry at the moment you're supposed to eat normally, the reason why could be because the previous meal you ate too much, or from the in between the previous meal and this meal, you have less activity amount than normal. Then of course you might not feel so hungry now. Then what you should do is that you eat smaller amount, or you eat something that is well cooked, easier to be digested. Okay, so tune in with your digestion. So everything you eat could be well digested, grow into the tissue, and also the essential ojas to take care of your mind. If this fire is too small, or sometimes very strong, sometimes very small, everything you eat will become this sticky monster, stays inside you, and then cause a lot of different things you don't like. Many people like to say, oh, I want to do fasting to detox. I want to detox. I want to detox. Detox or fasting means in Ayurveda means to strengthen your or to regulate your digestion fire, this one, so that everything you eat will become this instead of this. And even those things, those not being able transform things, will then be transformed into the nutrition and also the ojas. Even further, if your digestion fire is good, all those poison mentally could be the nutrition mentally. You must have this experience. If you slept very good yesterday, today, nothing can beat you. If you don't sleep well yesterday, then anything can irritate you today. Okay. Same as if you didn't eat enough today, anything can irritate you later. If you eat well, being well nourished, being well digested, then you will feel very strong. No matter what happens, you know you can go for it. Same as I mentioned, digestion fire is not only about being hungry, it's not only about transforming, it also takes care of the elimination. Think about if you didn't go to toilet for 3 days. Your brain will not function. You will start to feel very dull. But afterwards, you are able to release everything. You'll feel, oh, I'm so light. My brain becomes so clear. My mind becomes so positive. It's like the sunshine went through the window. So that is how the body and mind work together. How your body could help you, could support your mind. Doesn't mean that mind is not important. Mind is very important. All those mental care nowadays people are giving are very important. But they might take a bit longer time because we say they are subtle things, and subtle things will need more time to see the result. And the physical thing will work faster. And when these two working together, it will support you better. So if we know to have good digestion is very important, what to eat? Since now we know when to eat is more important, we tune in with our fire. We know that we need to have proper digestion, then what to eat. In Ayurveda, we say that in yoga, they also agree with that. We can categorize food in different ways. One way to categorize them is more in a mental side. We say food that can bring you clarity, food that can make you balance. After eating the food, you feel strong, mentally, physically. Those kind of food, we call them sattvic food. Eating sattvic food will bring your mind more open, stay in the sattvic status. For example, written in the books are like amalaki. Amalaki is a kind of Ayurvedic herb. It's a fruit. You can eat it as fruit, and you can buy it even in Trondheim, in my city. In Norway, you can find it in the Asian shop. You might not like it because it contains many different tastes. The first bite, more strong taste you have will be sour and astringent. Okay, and then, but after drinking some water, the sweetness will come up. Okay, so amalaki is one of them. It's also one of the fruit that contain most vitamin C. in the world. Nowadays they can find. And then second thing is cow milk, and also the ghee made from cow milk or cow butter. If you couldn't eat cow milk, you don't have to force yourself, because we still have some other things. If you are not able, if you are sensitive or allergy with those kind of sattvic food, then we need to first take care of your digestion before you eat them. Okay, so we say cow milk, cow ghee, and also honey, no matter new honey or old honey, and also Kerala red rice. It's not the normal red rice. It's a special type of rice that grow in Kerala, and it only needs 6 days to be harvested. They contain very high amount of nutrition for your mind. And also the mung dal. Mung dal has 3 different kind of form. Any of them are the same. Okay, one is the whole one with the green shell, the green skin, and then the other one is they open it up and then with the green skin, and the one side is green, one side is yellow, and also those which is remove the skin, that is yellow. I need to explain so detailed because not everyone is from India, so those might be the thing you are going to see in the shop, and I don't want to confuse you. Any of them is good for you. Okay, so in Ayurveda we say that eating the sattvic food will help you to stay sattvic. At the same time, reduce the amount of rajasic food or tamasic food will also be helpful, because not doing bad thing will already help you to stay good. That's what we believe. If you know what is the reason cause the imbalances, then you stop doing that. For example, you know, I'm so tired because yesterday I went to bed too late. Then today you go to bed earlier. Then the next day you'll feel better. That's so easy. Ayurveda is not hard at all. So we say, what is rajasic food? Normally, those kind of food make you extreme heat, make you extreme excited in a way that irritating. Like if you eat very spicy, if you eat super chili, you will not go, I don't think you can be grounded. Okay. Or like those very sour thing or very salty food, because anything that is too spicy, too pungent, or too sour or too salty, after you drink them, you'll feel very thirsty. Okay, so that's a sign that this food might be too rajasic. And also we say extreme hot. That kind of thing, no matter temperature hot or hot on your tongue, because they will make you uneasy. And also those things that cause you too dry, burning sensation. Those will also bring your mind more into the rajasic side, the fear, unstableness, hyper, very sensitive, those kind. Okay. And then, so minimize them, reduce them. You can still have them from time to time because, well, you know, we all like to have some spices in life, but not every day, not too strong. Small amount of spices, small amount of dryness or sourness is good. But when you do it excessively, some people only, in Norway, some people only eat knekbrød. I don't really suggest that. I'm sorry. And then some people only drink coffee every day. And I mean, drink coffee every day, not just 1 cup, but more cups. I also don't suggest that because they will cause a dryness. Okay. When you are very heavy, very wet, of course you need dryness, but not when you are already very dry. Okay, so we say some food that contain those quality, like fast food, processed food, microwave food, and also over-seasoned food. Over-seasoned food means that normally you should only have a pinch of salt, but you add 1 tablespoon of salt. That is what we call over-seasoned food. Okay, and also soda, sparkling water, especially some people only drink sparkling water. You can check if you often have like hyperacidity issue or like sour burping issue. Okay. And then tamasic. We say any food that make you too chill, any food make you not able to think, not able to move. For example, alcohol. And also those food make your digestion, slow down your digestion. For example, poison food. Smelly food in a bad way, or too fatty food. Okay, those are food will make your mind into the dullness, not able to think, or even attach on something, addicted on something. Okay, so If you couldn't having the amalaki cow milk or ghee all the time, at least you minimize those food we don't suggest it. That will help you. Okay, try from today and then you'll see how for at least 1 week and then see how everything goes. Because you never try, you never know. And once you try it, your internal teacher, your Buddhi will knowing that. They will have the experience. Okay, good. So here I would like to bring a very important thing from the food in Ayurvedic tradition. As you might remember that earlier I'm talking about food category by the mental effects, the sattvic food, rajasic food, tamasic food. And here we say that from the previous slides, I also mentioned that ojas is very important for you. Different tissues is very important for you. And also your functional energy is very important for you. And the key of all those is your digestion fire. Okay, so in Ayurveda, we like to categorize the food or the ingredients or the material in different way. There is one kind of material, we call them rasayana, has the rasayana function. And then as you can maybe still recall, or when you watch this video again in the first 5 minutes, I mentioned the 8 branch of Ayurveda. One of them is rasayana. And at that time I mentioned rasayana is not about rejuvenation. Rasayana is about how you are able to having more ojas by regulating your digestion fire, clear up the channels, the spaces that carry 3 internal things, 3 external, 3 going out things, and then 7 tissues and your mind. And women have 2 extra. And then fulfill your tissues, how your tissue is fulfilled from the food with proper digestion. And then the ojas will be formed. So from the moment at the time when you have ojas, the previous things have to happen. So if we say rasayana is to help you to have more ojas, that means the thing you eat, what we call the rasayana materials, will help you to take care of all these functions, the effects that I write down here. One thing we need to remember is rasayana don't have to bring you the nutrition directly. Why? Because at the same time, you're eating a lot of other food as well. Ayurveda never say that you don't eat food, but eat medicine. It is very important. If any Ayurvedic doctor tell you you need to take the medicine, you don't need to think about your food, they might not be proper Ayurvedic doctor. Because in Ayurveda, we believe in nature. If we believe in nature, your body should function. If the body function, your ojas will come not from the medicine, but from the food you eat. Medicine will be part of it, but it's not the only resource. Okay, this is very important concept. So some rasayana food or some rasayana material medicine or herbs that will help you to regulate your digestion function and also maintain this the emptiness or maintain the smooth and the flow in your spaces so that your body can form the ojas. And then some will help you to create more ojas by itself. So here, based on what Indian government, they have a department called Ayush. They promote Ayurveda, yoga, homeopathy worldwide. So they have some suggestions and also from the classical books. We say aloe vera is one of them. They don't bring you nutrition, but they help you to do the preparation. And also amalaki. Amalaki bring you the nutrition and also doing the preparation. Ashwagandha. Ashwagandha doing more of the nutrition part. Okay. And the betel nuts. The betel nuts leaf, that's also something you're able to find in Norway, in the Asian shops, supermarket. Bibidagi is another fruit that is also has such function. Bitter melon has a very good cleansing and also regulate way. And also okra and Chinese okra. Chinese okra is one kind of melon. Okay. And also winter melon, garlic, ginger, and normal okra, even mint. And tulsi, everyone know about tulsi. Loofah is another kind of like melon vegetable. Everything I've written here, you're able to find in Norway. That's why I list them. And then as you see that I highlight Amalagi, Bibidagi, and Hadidagi because that's related to my research. I'll talk about that later. Okay, and then among all different Rasayana material, there's one special kind. We call them Mithya Rasayana. Mithya Rasayana means this material doesn't just support the Rasayana function we just mentioned, it targets on your mind. Okay, so it's mainly the herbs apart from winter melon. So it's like licorice, winter melon, they are more for the food part. But if you want to take licorice, please be aware because if you overdose with licorice, your nerve tissue might lose its function and also your immunity might lose its function. Okay, so we don't suggest overtaking them like half teaspoon or 1 cup of licorice tea a day. It's okay, or 1/2 teaspoon of powder, but not more than that, just to stay on the safe side. Okay, and then apart from that, there's also one kind of Rasayana. We say it is okay to take daily. It is okay to take long life. It is okay to take almost for everyone, apart from young children, apart from pregnant lady, apart from breastfeeding lady. That is what we call Tripala. Okay, Tripala is something classically not target on the mind, but it will nourish you directly or indirectly as Rasayana. And Tripala is a combination of Amalagi, Hadidagi, and Bibidagi. They are sold in Norway. That's the reason why I highlight it. Okay, and then we say that to take it, we have different technique. Different technique means in which season, in which situation, you eat them with different things. So if you're curious about how to take Tripala, feel free to contact me. Okay. Because if you take it, if you overdose with it, you have diarrhea issue. Okay, and then if you overdose it with it, some other issue will happen. If we have chance in the future, I might have another video or workshop about how to use Tripala. It's a very useful thing. Okay, good. So the last part of the workshop today, before I move into my clinic research project, is the food for your mind part. We have also one concept is patya apatya. Patya means what you could do. Okay, you should do more. Apatya means what you should avoid. Okay, so with the food, it is very important. Those food ingredients I mentioned, I've written down here on this slide, was also mentioned in the previous slides, like the Kerala red rice, the mung dal, milk, ghee, and then black raisin, and also mango, but ripe one, and also like wheat, if you're able to digest them, and pomegranate, butter, amalagi, and winter melon. Those are food that is recommended by many Ayurvedic doctors nowadays in India for the mental health. Okay, mental health, and also to help your mind to stay stable, food-wise. If we take them in a food dose, not in a medicine dose. Okay. Apart from that, what you should also do food-wise is always take food which is freshly made, not more than 4 hours. I usually say two meal principle, which means if you make it for breakfast, finish it latest by lunch. So it's easier to understand. Okay. And also clean and hygiene food, and also eat food that with good combination and good for this season and good for you. More of this part, we could do more workshop in the future if you're interested in food. And then also apatya means things you shouldn't do or you should minimize if you want to maintain your mental health. For example, alcohol, and also processed food, or like cake and cookie, those which is use the simple carbohydrate. Those are not so good for our body. They might cause inflammation. And also excessive drugs, no matter the unnecessary pills or the drug. Okay. And of course, cigarette, because all those will make your mind, will increase your vata and pitta, bring down your acne, bring down your digestion fire, and also reduce or make your ojas to be depleted. Okay, good. So do we have any question about the workshop so far before I move into my slides, my presentation?
Yeah, of course. So when I eat dinner from yesterday,
Yeah,
today,
yeah. When do you plan to eat dinner from yesterday today?
I have eaten it.
So you want to eat
24 hours later.
Okay, so it's like dinner. For dinner time, I eat dinner from yesterday. In Ayurveda, we really don't suggest that. Okay, first of all, we don't suggest that. But we know that nowadays life is very hard to cook every day. Like on YouTube, many people are teaching how you can cook just on Sunday for all the food you need on the rest days this week. So we say that if you could, don't do it. But if you really have to do such thing, then the food you make, instead of making food already then, you should just prepare the ingredients. Okay, so that you can still use the pre-prepared ingredients to make freshly made food. If you really want to use your leftover, in Asia, what we usually do is reuse it as the ingredients to make it into a new dish. Yeah. So for example, you use the ghee, turmeric powder, black pepper to fry it again, or to boil them into the soup or stew. We don't really recommend that, but if this is the only resource of food you could get, then this will be a better solution. Yeah. Okay. Then use microwave to heat it up purely like that. Okay, good. Everyone online, any question? You can turn on the microphone if you have question before I move into my research project. I know it is a lot of information, so take your time. I'll prepare this recording online so that you can watch it later if you are interested in this topic. Okay. If you don't have any questions, let me move on. Any question, feel free to just bring it up. So about my research project, what I would like to do is that to have a protocol to test. This protocol is mainly or traditionally used to take care of the digestion, to take care of the physical body. I want to prove or to check if this one could be a good support for anyone who is at the same time also doing yoga, qigong, or talking therapy, or meeting psychologists or psychotherapists, and also having some different, treatment at the same time. Because as I mentioned, all the treatment are helpful. Okay, all the mentally practice, yoga, meditation, qigong, tai chi, they are good. But I would like to know that, I would like to find out that if such protocol can really support. This protocol wouldn't replace your food, but it will help you to digest, to absorb, to metabolize your food better. Okay, so I create such protocol and I would like to know if anyone would like to join to test it. So for my protocol, I use these 3 herbs. Okay, I wouldn't give you my, at this moment, I couldn't give you my proportion yet, but in the end of the year, when I do my research result sharing, I will give you my proportion. So I choose these 3 herbs that is well talked earlier during our previous slide. You might see them on the slide of sattvic food or rasayana food or the nitya rasayana food. You maybe wonder why I don't want to choose any food or herbs that is from the nitya rasayana, from the mind. Why? Because they are already being known. They are good for the mind. So this is not my focus. I want to use something that is good for your body. And then we want to know if that will also help you with your mind. So I choose these 3 herbs. One is amalaki, one is haridaki, one is bibidaki. These 3 together is tripala, but I don't just use tripala this time. I have different mixture. So we say amalaki, among these 3, amalaki is cooling, haridaki and bibidaki is warming. So they have a good combination. And then all amalaki and haridaki, they are good for the to balance vata and pitta and kapha. All the 3 functional energy I just mentioned. At the same time, bibidaki will balance kapha and pitta. So no matter you are too wet, too heavy, too oily mentally, or you are too dry and then too unstable, too mobile mentally, this could help. or if you are too hot mentally, too sharp mentally, too sour mentally, this protocol will help. Okay, and then I also write down how in traditionally and also in some of the Ayurvedic research, what they found with these 3 herbs, or so-called the 3 fruits, because in India, they were eaten like a fruit, like food. So we say amalaki will strengthen your sense organ, especially your vision. And also that will maintain your good health, digestion system, and your liver and your heart. Remember, where is your ojas? Where is your rasa dhatu? In your heart. And I also mentioned that how important liver is regarding stable, to maintain the emotion stableness. And then Haridagi, we say that it is very good for your digestion. Dipana means good for digestion. Pachana means good to clean the waste, good to clean the indigested material, the sticky monster you saw on the picture earlier. And also it helps your vata energy to flow normally. So the wind inside you, especially in your brain, in your heart, can be stable. Okay, stable doesn't mean not move. Stable means move in a good way. And also it has written down in the classical book that it will strengthen your nerve and your brain. Okay. And then Bibidagi has mainly the function on the physical side, like the skin health, the eye health, and also the digestion health. But it also written that it could calm the nerve. Okay, but we don't just calm the nerve, because sometimes we are very dull. Sometimes grief might not come from too active. So these 3 combinations together, I believe, could cover most of the angles nowadays that I wouldn't call mental disease, but nowadays most of the imbalances or the mental challenging we are facing. Okay, so how am I going to do it? It will take about 2 months. We could start from now, depends on when you contact me. So after you contact me, we'll do initial consultation. During this initial consultation, I have to use the DMS5, that form. I have to ask you to go through 220 questions just quickly in the Western way to measure how you are mentally. And then also I'll do a proper Ayurvedic assessment to you so that we know how you are, who you are, and then you'll receive the protocol that is enough for 2 months. Okay, you don't need to change your lifestyle, you don't need to change your diet. Sounds very good, huh? Okay. If you're still meeting your psychologist, go to your psychologist. If you still go to your yoga practice, go to your yoga practice. I would like to see if this protocol could support you while you're doing your regular original life. Okay, and then in between, I'm on call to support you. If you notice something happen physically or mentally, you're not so sure, or you discuss with your yoga teacher or with your psychologist, they are not so sure what's that, then you contact me. Okay, and then in the end of these 2 months, we are going to do a final consultation as well. Again, I'll have to ask your help to fulfill that 220 question again, just to measure, okay, after these 2 months, if you notice any difference. If everyone who is in this program do have a very strong and very big improvement, then we know, okay, this protocol could be helpful. Okay, if many don't have any improvement or only very small amount, then we at least know that, okay, this one will support your mind better, will support your body better, but for the mind might still need something else to support. Okay, so if I have more than 50 people sign up, all these will be for free. Okay, the cost is on me. So include the protocol, include the consultation, all those are for free for you. And then I'll say that if we have more than 50 people sign up by end of this month, then some other people will be sent separate, put into the just like the preference group that you wouldn't receive the protocol, and then we see what will happen after 2 months. But after these 2 months, I will do the same thing to you. Okay, so you're not losing anything. Okay, good. So I hope that I can finish everything by end of September. so that I can start to analyze my numbers and the data. And then by end of this year, I wish I could share these research results for everyone. And the reason why I choose that 3 herb as that 3 herbal fruit as my protocol is because in Norway and in Europe, we have quite strict rules regarding Ayurvedic herbs. So I want to be very careful. And then these 3 herbs, because they are fruity based, so they are allowed in EU. And then I saw many shops sell them in Norway. So here, this protocol you receive from me is not medicine. They are just from the herbal powder. And the herbal powder is the dried fruit, as the 3 fruit you saw on the picture earlier. So they are more like the food supplement instead of medicine. And in Ayurveda, we don't consider everything as medicine because most of them are eatable. Well, yeah, most of them. Yeah. Good. Do you have any question here about the content today or about my research program? No? Okay, great. If we don't have any question, then I'll wrap everything today. And thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much today.
Thank you.
So I hope that in the future we have more chance to do this. And after summer, I would like to give some online cooking course that will be very short, but will bring you some practical things that you can directly do in life. So till then, I wish you very good summer break. Take care. Namaste. Namaste today. Thank you.